How are you? You okay?
I'm fine. It's Saturday. It's a nice day outside, and yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I am good. You look lovely.
Thank you.
I'm like, come through, Queen. Hey, yes, I love it. You're wearing white, looking all godly
My
and
Saturday,
holy.
yeah,
I'm
because
like, yeah.
during the week we can't wear like colors like this because our babies will mess it up somehow. So
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
my white.
Yes. Perfect. So let the people know who you are, what you do, how long you've been a nanny, because it's all about you today, girl. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm Linda Akinbusi. I let people call me Linda Akins because sometimes Akinbusi, people are like, they mix up my name so many times. So I've made it Linda Akins, but you're more than welcome, if you're willing, to try to pronounce my full name. That's up to you. Um, I've been in childcare for like so many years now. I started when I was 13. And a lot of people, I know there's a lot of childcare people that started when they were teenagers. So I like meeting people like that because I'm like, oh, how was it then versus now? Because I started at 13 and I was taking care of 4 children at a time. And so that was a big responsibility for me. But having working with those kids, and they were different ages, of course, made me realize that this is something that I want to do as a career. And so since then, I've just kind of grown over the years in different childcare aspects. I've been a daycare teacher. I've worked as a head lice technician. I've also been a children's fitness instructor. Everything I've kind of done has been child related. And so my previous role used to be a daycare teacher, and now I am a full-time nanny for the sweetest little girl in the world. That's my baby. Um, I'm a full-time nanny now, and on top of that, I'm in school for child psychology. Can't wait for that to be over. And on top of that, I'm also a business owner. I own a childcare company called Tots and Giggles, where I supply sitters, tutors, nannies, as well as event childcare, in addition to party services for kids. Of course, with COVID this year, I haven't been as active in the other aspects of my business, but as far as providing tutors and sitters, that's been something that has been going. So that's just a little bit about me, at least come like starting from my little journey. Ultimately, my goal is to be able to provide like free childcare to people who really need it. I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people who don't have the advantages, thankfully, that I've been graced with. I see single mothers all the time. My sister was a single mother. I lived with her for some time, and she's one of the reasons that I even started my business because I saw the need for single parents and people who just can't afford adequate, and reliable childcare. I saw the need for it, and in my neighborhood right now, my goal is to try to provide more events for for single parents, people who want their kids to be a part of something, and also to be able to provide babysitting services because people have to work. There's a lot of people that are working and they can't find good care because they can't afford it. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
what drives me with Tots and Giggles. That's my ultimate goal. Another goal, of course, is to be able to help children. I hope to one day have an orphanage with Tots and Giggles so that I can help children because children really is not just it's not a career. It's my life. It's my passion. I want to say it's my work that God blessed me to be able to work with children, and I see it beyond work. I see it as something that I'm blessed to do each day to impact a child's life. That's just what I do. So that's why I'm a child care provider.
Can we give her some claps, please, guys? Because she's just out here killing it up in Chicago. Okay. Yes. Listen, I knew this already because we've had a conversation, but I'm just like sitting here like, yes, tell them some more, tell them some more, tell them some more. Like literally, a lot of people do look at nannying as a stepping stone, not as a career. Um, just something to do in between. And some people do, nanny for that reason. Can you hear me? Because I can hear this
Yeah,
going a bit funny. Okay, cool. Um, so people do look at, nannying as something that's not serious. This is bugging me, so I'm going to quickly take it off. Give me a second.
No.
I can hear. I don't want you guys to hear it on the live. So yeah. So my thing is the fact that you're saying all these things, and it makes me just feel good because it makes me know that people are actually doing this as a career as well. Are you guys hearing that sound, or is it just me? Please, someone, let me know.
I don't hear. I don't hear a sound.
It's bugging me. It's like a scratchy sound. I don't know if other people can hear it.
Not from my side, is it? Or
I don't know. Let's see if they can hear. If not, it's just me then with my ears. Because I'm like, I could hear it in my headphones. I'm like, what's going on? Let's just see quickly. There's a few comments. Like, someone said that is so dope. Plenty TLC. See? Uh, Nanny J. Shotwell said, yes, there's definitely a need for childcare in single parent homes. I love the passion behind your words. And everyone's clapping. Wow, amazing. Yes, I hear it. I can hear it. Okay, so it's not just me then. It's a tad scratchy. Yeah, I can hear, hon. Yes, scratching as well.
it might be the echo, because right now it's really silent where I'm at. And I don't have. I'm doing it through my phone, so I'm not
Could it be
sure.
that? I don't know. I think it's when I talk. No? Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Right. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of the like the best things about being a nanny that you love?
I just love, and I say this a lot of times, and I hope it doesn't sound too preachy, but children to me are like the purest form of God on earth. They're so pure, they're innocent. I love the fact that they're honest. Like these are little humans. They start off so innocent, and I just love being able to be around them because, life is life. As an adult, you get to see the bad parts of life. Everything is not like roses. But children, they're so innocent. They see everything as just like totally different from us as adults. So I love being surrounding myself with that joy, that peace, and it just helps to keep me like it helps to keep me lively as a child because my child, there might be something that I do and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just horrible. And she'll look at, like the other day, for example, I saw a spider. I am very terrified of bugs. I hate them. They must get exterminated, kill them all. Um, and so I had to kill the spider. And so it was a scenario where, I was the adult and my child, of course, is the baby. However, I didn't want to be the adult, but I had to. So I had to kill the spider. And in the midst of me freaking out, I'm jumping on the counter, like I'm really spazzing. And my child laughing, like she's laughing, she's smiling at the spider, she wants to touch the spider. That alone is like just seeing that difference. Like where do we
No fear.
from? Like I just love that. So
Mm.
like that, I love that. That's one thing that I love about being in childcare. Interacting with families, different families, and also getting to expose them to, my culture, my background. I am
What
Nigerian.
is your culture? Because you haven't told anyone.
I am Nigerian. I know I do not sound Nigerian, but I am 100% Nigerian, mom and dad. I came here when I was 4. So, yes, that's why I sound like this. But
Yeah.
I'm very I'm very much into my culture, and I do speak my language, and I understand it. So sometimes I try to incorporate that with my kids. I try to teach them,
Yeah.
things about my culture, Black culture as well, because that's my culture as well. And so I like
Hmm.
to, go to homes and being able to, give them that perspective. So that's like
Love that.
all of that is like really why I just love childcare.
I absolutely love that. Like, I think it's so important as well because a lot of the children that we look after are quite privileged. They come from backgrounds where they probably would never meet someone like us. Um, so the fact that we can go into their homes and teach them about different things around the world is just it's like a bonus on top of a bonus in a way. Especially if you love what you do. And then on top of that, you're going to incorporate, because children ask questions, you know. My nanny children, they see, obviously, I don't wear these big earrings and things to work because it's just not professional. But outside of work, I want to be authentically me. So, you know, when there has been times when they've seen me outside of work, when I've had to quickly run in and pick up something from work or whatever, and I'm, you know, dressed this way, or even if when I go to, I sometimes wear studs, but they have like African print, and they'll be like, "Oh, where's that from? Who made it?" Like they ask loads of questions, or even down to the way that I dress and things like that. So I love that you incorporate that with your nanny children. That is amazing. So what would you say is like your worst experience,
Oh,
like, or your most challenging experience, and how did you how did you overcome that?
I have quite a few. I've had probably like just a few. One, of course, the culture shock. Sometimes, you know, I have a YouTube, and in my YouTube channel, I made a video talking about being a Black childcare provider. And some of the things that I talked about was just a culture shock of going into the household, because when I'm on the phone with somebody, they can't tell what ethnicity I am. But when I come to the door, it's a different experience. And they're like, oh, you know, I've had parents, they're like, oh, like, you know, like they give me the,
You're
oh,
black.
and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm Linda. Nice to meet
Mm-hmm.
you. And I have, you know, I've had my kids ask me different questions like, you know, why do you look like this, or certain things where I do address, because you know I'm a teacher to these kids, but I address it in the best way I can. So I've had situations like that where I'm like, okay, well, now I have to teach them a little bit more about me, people like my color, people my complexion, whereas I wish, you know, it was a situation where I didn't have to really explain it. I wish it was something that, you know, the family had explained before. So I've been in situations like that that's been kind of I don't want to say awkward, but it's kind of put me, you know, I've kind of been like a deer in headlights where I'm like, okay, now I really have to break it down to you about my culture and why my skin is this way, or why my hair is thicker than yours, like that. I've also had situations where kids, I remember this one time, there was this child who, he was a lovely child. However, it was a situation where I was trying to, you know, discipline him in the sense of giving him a timeout. However, he was not interested in a timeout. And he threw, there was a fireplace, and he threw like, what do you call it? Like the fireplace rocks at me, and it almost hit my head. He threw several rocks. And that's something too that I think people don't realize, that childcare providers and nannies, sometimes there's situations where our kids can hurt us because they're not used to maybe you saying no, someone telling them no, or them being disciplined. And I don't do anything drastic, timeouts, maybe sit in your room, but they're probably not used to that. And so their reactions after is something you have to handle. And that's happened to me on
Mm-hmm.
several occasions where I've been felt like, you know, I can get physically hurt by this child, but I can't do anything because I'm the adult. So that's
Mm-hmm.
situation you know, I've been in. I've experienced that at least 3 times in my childcare experience where a child physically, you know, physically hurt me. And so my thing I've learned is sometimes you just have to say no. No, I can't come back to your household. No, I cannot come, you know, and babysit anymore because I have to worry about my safety, because if anything happens with that child too, being that he's aggressive, they're gonna look at me. They're not gonna really look at the. They're gonna look at me as the adult. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's been like my two things that's kind of been difficult being in childcare.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about being a black, you know, childcare provider, which I'm now realizing that the sound's coming from my end, and I'm not sure why, but I apologize. Um, when we spoke before privately, you mentioned an incident that I wanted you to share on the live, and it was about the flag. Do you mind speaking on that, or do you not want to? It's up to you, but I think it's really important for people to hear this, especially people that are not black and that are nannies, because um, uh, you know, with all the Black Lives Matter and all this, the new kind of, you know, not even new, but it. becoming more worldwide now that racism is alive. We've been knowing it from day, but a lot of people don't know to what extent. So I wanted you to speak on that. And if you feel comfortable, please do, because that resonated with me. I've never been that experienced, but I have worked in America and I have seen that kind of situation. And I'm thinking, rah, like you actually had to deal with that. Do you mind elaborating a bit more, just telling us that story?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was when I first kind of started out babysitting and like throughout Chicago. I was working for an agency, which I will not name. And so I was working for an agency, and I had to go to a client's house. And so I approached the client, and before then, I did speak with the client. So, like I said, sometimes I have a thing called tone voice, which I've done in the past, because, like I said, a lot of times people don't know who you are through the tone of your voice through the phone. And so I approached the house, and the first thing I saw in the window was like this huge Confederate flag, and I was like, oh, but I didn't think much of it because I'm like, I mean, it's America, whatever. They just probably have the Confederate flag. I'm still going to go and babysit, whatever. I arrive in the house, and of course, the dad kind of greeted me kind of awkwardly, just kind of like, oh, you're the sitter, okay,
You're
and
black.
kind of like like the way he greeted me is just not what I was kind of used to beforehand. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm the sitter. So we had that awkward
Do
greeting.
you think it was because you're black? Do you think it was thought on the phone you didn't sound black?
A lot of people do not think I am. They I think I sound quite differently on the phone. And so when I approached, and like I said, I didn't think much of the Confederate flag. It was the dad's response that really made me feel like, oh, I'm not really welcome here, because his response just didn't seem welcoming to me. But I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna take care of the kids, which I did. And I think I did a great job with the kids. It was at the end of the day, and it was almost time for me to go home. And so I was watching Martin. If you guys aren't familiar, Martin Lawrence is like, a black sitcom back in the day. And I was watching it because I loved the show, and because the kids were in bed. And so the father comes in because it's time for me to go. And he looks at the TV and he looks at me, and you can just see his face. He's just like, what?
The judgment.
He's just like,
the judgment.
His
like
expression is just like, and I try not to think about it too much, but I'm like, when someone just kind of isn't really interested in you. So like his facial expressions, and then he was just asking me like redundant questions, just like, oh, did you take care of the kids? Did they eat? Did they do that? And then he was just kind of, after I gave him the gist of the day, he just kind of dismissed me. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. No big deal. But then the next day, I heard from my agency, and they said, oh, this family does not want to work with you anymore. And that kind of broke my heart, because I'm like, well, what did I do? What did I say? I thought I did a great job. And my agency didn't give me much detail. They were just like, well, they just don't think you're a good fit for the family. And so right there and then, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. This is what.
You have to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You have to address the elephant in the room. So in that instance, he obviously was upset that they had sent a black nanny, and then made excuses for you not coming back, even though their children were absolutely fine, well fed, well looked after, and he was just upset that you had come and you was black.
Yeah.
That's mad. Like, when you first told me that story, remember how shocked I was? I was like,
yeah.
What? No, come again. Wait, what? But you know what? I can't be shocked, because I've had that before, where I've gone for jobs, and you talk to the parents on the phone and everything, and then you go there and you just see the color drain from their face when they see you, and it's like, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's not racist, but as a black person, when someone is racist. When someone does. It's like an instinct. It's like your ancestors are telling you you're not welcome here. It's a feeling that I can't explain. And so it's one of those things now, like, where as well as being a nanny, you go through the normal, most nannies go through the normal kind of, challenges, but then to then be black as a nanny, you get extra challenges on top of that because you got judgment from just, the color of your skin. And if you really want to take it all the way back, black women were the originators of nannies.
Yeah.
If you take it back to slave day, who were the people looking after, the slave owners' children? It was black women. So I think it's a bit cheeky, first of all, that, people feel that they can say, we don't want this nanny to come back because she's black, in other words. And I've even had people say, I'm quite close with a lot of nanny agencies, like the owners, and they've even said to me that, like, people have said to them before, like, I don't want a black nanny.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them have, refused to work with clients like that. But this is something that is very common. So yeah, I'm really happy that you shared that with us. I wanted to go to some of the comments, if you don't mind, because a few people had stuff to say about that. So let's see. Ooh, ooh. So Muge, oh, that's my friend from school. Hey, hey, gorgeous. How our own culture should always be taught. Yes. Montessori Nanny said, I get this all the time. You didn't sound black on the phone. Yep. Hi, everyone coming in. Hi, Vashni. How are you? Let's see. I am Kadmin. That's my sister. She's like, it's so sad. Muge's done the emoji, disgusting behavior. Hi, Shalisha. That's my sister. Montessori Nanny said, that's so tragic because the children are going to be steeped in that kind of hate. Yeah, yeah, terrible. Hi, JI Sounds. Oh, we've got more people coming in. Academy says, I wouldn't want to be around anyone with that mentality anyway. Very true. Hey, Amy, she's coming. Yes, that's true, Charles. Black women have been nannying for years. Hi, everyone. Oh, hi. So yeah, like you guys are amazing. Thank you. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions for Linda, please do send them in, and then I'm gonna go through a few more, and then Linda you'll be happy to answer any questions people have, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what advice would you give to first of all, what advice would you give to nannies that want to like junior nannies, like someone wanting to get into nannying? What are some of the things that you wish someone told you before you started? What kind of advice would you give?
You don't have to be the perfect nanny, and you don't have to compete with the previous nanny. That's one thing that I've learned, that that sometimes parents have all these expectations of you, or they had a previous nanny before you that they just love, and then you come and they just want this and this and this. You guys are not the same. You handle things differently, you do things differently. As long as the kids are happy and thriving, it is fine. Also, this is something that I'm still learning this year, is know your worth. I've been in childcare for some time, and some of my credentials, I've definitely given people more discounts than I should have. People at my friends have been telling me, my mentors, oh, Linda, you should charge more. You should do this. This is how much you should make more. And it's not until the last couple of months where I realized, you know what? Yeah, I need to charge. Don't be afraid to ask for a raise if you believe that you deserve it. Don't be afraid to
Mm-hmm,
go for that higher paying job. If you know you have the
mm-hmm,
and the experience for it, go for it. Because a lot of times people don't see our profession as serious. And me being Nigerian myself, a lot of people really don't see my profession. They don't take it serious, because in my culture, being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, something in the medical field, they prioritize that. So a lot of times my colleagues look at me and they're like, oh, you're a nanny. Even my own parents, they're like, oh, you're a nanny. You don't want to do something professional with your life. You don't want to do anything else. You're not going to get paid much. Meanwhile, me being a nanny this year, I'm making more than I did at my corporate job. And I do have benefits on top of that. That's because I went and make sure that I laid a foundation as to what I want this year. And I
mm-hmm,
saw somebody who saw my value. So please don't settle for anything you know you're not worth, because at the end of the day, you're going to get tired. You're going to be like, this is too much. I'm not
mm-hmm.
paid, and that's a factor. That's a factor in the childcare industry. They don't pay us enough, and that's why there's a high retention rate. I used to work at a daycare, and we had a revolving door of people coming in and out because they don't want to.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to take care of kids. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely an advice that I give. It's okay to say no. Like I said in my previous story, when I was in a situation where I got hurt, and the family requested me again, I told them, no, I'm sorry, I cannot come, because I have to think of myself as top priority before I go into some place that, something may happen and now I'm at fault. So say no.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't stay 7 days, come to work 7 days a week. I have a life on the weekend. No, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
$10 an hour. I'm worth more than that. No,
Yeah.
I can't have a play date with 5 other kids. You're not paying me for 5 other kids. You're only paying me for 1 or 2. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
families and parents looking for sitters and childcare providers. It's like you'll find something. So saying no is something
Booked and busy.
yeah.
I love that. That was some amazing advice, because even now, as a nanny, sometimes I've heard nannies that have been in the industry 20 odd years, still not knowing their worth, and I'm thinking, so for your whole career, you've just been like, just settling.
Yeah.
So it's really good. And I'm hoping that if you guys know any nannies that would benefit from this live, feel free to share this live to whoever you think would find it useful. I am going to put it on my page, so it's going to be there forever. But, if they want to join the live now, feel free. You have a few questions coming in, so let me just go back up. Let's see. Ooh. Who we got here? We have, you guys are amazing. We have Nanny Buddy saying disgusting behavior. Thanks so much for sharing. We have, hi Jazz. And we have Cadmin saying, does Linda have children of her own?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't have not. Yeah, trust me. When you're a nanny, you don't have kids. I think you take a bit longer.
Yes. I've been in daycare, nanny, sitter. It's made me realize I can wait. I can really wait.
Yeah, I can wait. I got time. Hi, childcare training. Hi, Maureen. She said, like that, know your worth. Thanks for sharing. Cadmin said, after being a nanny, do you want to have children?
Yes, I come from a pretty decent sized family. I'm the last child out of 7 kids. And so I used to want 7 children when I was young and lively. Now, I'm like, we can do 1. And maybe if my husband is able to convince me, we can try for 2. But that's it. That's the max I'm doing. We're not doing any more than that. I'm done.
Well, thank you for the honesty. Shalita says, hey, Linda, you're a very beautiful Black woman. My question is, what drives you to do nannying? I'm not sure if Shalisha, I think you missed the beginning of the live, but Linda, you can feel free to say it again if you want, or what drives you to do nannying?
Oh, well, let me, just to condense it, I'm a nanny because I love children. I love the purity of them. I love their innocence. I love how they see life in a total different aspect. I can be having a bad day, and the child that I nanny for, she can give me a hug and my day just feels good. The purity of her, and just the joy that she always has. And I just love that in kids, because the world is messed up. So us being childcare providers, I feel like the majority of us that really have that heart for kids, when we go into work, we get tired, but we also this is it's a blessing to be in childcare. So that's why I do it.
Definitely. What I find? I believe children have healing powers, because for me, when I was going through like my mental health lows, listen, you see a hug from one of my nanny boys, that would literally change my whole world. Or, even if they said, Shada, you're the best, or Shada, I love you, that literally would be more than enough to get me through the rest of the week if I was having a bad day. So I honestly believe children have healing powers, and I think they have that naturally. So yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. Someone said, loving your personalized cup. Thank you. Did you like it? It was a birthday present.
I know. One of the cups I won.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a few people inquire. I'm working on something with some merch because I had a few people ask me. So look out for some exciting merch coming from me soon. And then we have the dancing nanny. Hey, Nanny Buddy said amazing advice. Casmine's laughing. Hey, Kimmy Kim. Nanny Kim on the go. Hey, says, hey, ladies. Casmine asks, how long have you been working as a nanny? I think she meant by years. Like, how long have you been working as a nanny?
I started at 13 years, and I've been doing it since. I'm 28 now, so I would say about 15.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right. Shalisha said, oh, sorry, go
Let me allow you.
ahead.
I've been childcare for 15 years, but I've been a nanny,
Yeah.
like the title of a nanny, I've been for about 7 years now.
Mm. Thanks for the clarity. Shalisha says, I just locked in. Sorry, I missed the beginning. Okay, that's fine. I am Cadmi said, children are pure until we mess them up with our unhealthy beliefs. Listen. Nanny Buddy said, yes, 100%. Nanny Kim on the goes laughing at us. Hi, Jess Fox. Montessori Nanny says, what's your favorite thing to do with your charges?
With my charges, you mean with my children, or?
Yeah, with your children, yeah. So nanny kids charges. What's your favorite thing to do with your nanny children?
My favorite thing to do is anything kind of outdoor. I like to go outdoor, go to the park. I like to run. I like to, my kid that I nanny for now, there's a track right by our her apartment. And so we go there and we run around the track. We pick up leaves. We pick up the little apple things that are falling off the tree. I love being outdoors with the kids. Plus, it helps my day go by faster. When we're
It definitely does.
yeah, and plus exercise too. So I'm able to get my steps in with my girl while she's running off. I'm running with her. I just love being outdoors with the kids. When I'm inside the house, I like doing things sensory related. So I'm a messy person with my kids. When I used to be in daycare, my assistant teachers hated me because I'm the teacher that we're going to do messy things. We're going to deal with jello. We're going to deal with slime. We're going to deal with pumpkin, anything messy. I love doing that with the
Yeah.
kids. I just love it. Like kids are just, they're natural mess makers. So I love being able to give
Yeah.
opportunity to make an even bigger mess. So yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. You got loads of questions coming in, Linda. Wait, I'm gonna scroll up. Hi, so Muge up. It says children are innocent, and that baby and child smile when you hug is priceless, isn't it? Um, Jess Fox says great topic. Uh, and then she said outside time is so important. Let's play and learn. Ask you a question. She said, "What's your favorite age to work with?"
I love, and I think a lot of nannies are like, or childcare providers are like this. I love infants and I love toddlers. And then I love toddlers. Those are like the ages that I usually end up working with. But I also, lately, I've been really enjoying the preteen age, like the age 10 to 12, because you just get to see the transition that these kids are making in semi adulthood. So I like that age.
I think we're losing you a little bit. Guys, is she buffering on your screen? Because she's buffering on mine. Wait. Oh, talk, Linda, so I see if I can hear you. Say that again.
Yeah, so I'm saying I love the age, the preteen age like 10 to 12, because I just like seeing the transition they're trying to make into their adulthood. So I liked age it's so intriguing to see how they're trying to, you know, make that transition and the things that you're trying to, you know, work on.
So that's looking okay, perfect. And anyone else got any more questions for Linda? Um, yeah, I'm losing her a bit. It's okay now. Yeah, you cut out a little bit, so we didn't get to see you. So, what advice would you give to parents that have nannies, and in terms of having a healthy working relationship? Like, if you were to say, dear parents, what would be some of the advice that you would give them?
Hmm. I would tell parents to just relax and be open-minded. Be open-minded to what your nanny brings to the table. Be open-minded to if she's a different culture. Be open-minded to the culture. Be receptive to what she has to say, because parents, you know, you're the parents. However, we're with your children most of the day as well. So those are our kids too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that because we were talking to Shannon yesterday, who's also a mom and a nanny, and she was talking more from the parents' perspective about how more understanding she is now that she's a mom. Um, and it I learned quite a lot from what she was saying, because I think as nannies that we are not mothers. Some of us are not mothers. Sometimes we struggle to see things from a parent perspective. So it was really nice just to hear her side of it as a nanny and also her side of it as a parent. So yeah, let me see. You got some more questions. Soph asks, what's your favorite meal to cook for your nanny kids?
Anything hearty. Anything chili, because I eat it with them. Mac
Yeah,
and cheese, chili, baked potato, spaghetti and meatballs. Anything where I
yeah.
add to, we're going to make. And I make it with my baby. She's 17 months, but she loves to be in the kitchen with me. So I'll have her doing some things that we'll make it together.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the perfect age. I love all children, but I think my favorite age bracket is when they're like 6 months plus. Oh my God. And then they get to like that one, learning how to walk, and I just love it. Let's see. Nanny Body says yes, losing her a bit, coming back now. Yes, agreed. She loves the 8 to 12-year-olds. See, you guys love the older children. I love children, all types of children, but I really enjoy the younger ones, like the early years, 0 to 5. For me, I think that's where I thrive the most. Hi, Suitcase Nanny. I am Miss Us Right. Hi, the right nanny. Oh, quite a lot of people coming in. Hey guys. Nanny Kim on the go asks you, Linda, you got loads of questions, girl. You ready? He says, how do you manage who you have support you in your nanny community and support system?
Okay. Well, funny enough, I'm probably the only nanny out of my friends. Out of my friends, the rest of them are in childcare though. My friends are teachers, daycare teachers, so they're along the gist of what I do. As far as the surrounding myself with more nannies, social media has been my connector with other nannies like myself. I reach out to some nannies, message them, because as much as I love my friends, sometimes it's just nice to reach out to someone who is doing the same things as you are. I reached
Mm-hmm.
to my dear friend right here. I reached out to her a couple weeks ago because I was going through some things, and I just saw her. Oh my goodness, is my phone going out again? Horrible.
A little bit. We can hear you, but you're still. Oh,
Get
wait.
bonkers.
That's all right. We got you now.
Okay. Okay, great. So yes, I reached out to her a couple weeks ago. I reached out to you, and because I
Yeah.
was doing some things with my business and just my identity, and I saw you on my social media page. I saw you on my feed, and I had to reach out to you because I was like, you know what? She's a woman that looks like me. She's doing the nanny thing. She's a childcare professional, and I want to talk to someone that I feel like I'll be able to hear. Because I can reach out to my other friends, and that's great. But there's nothing like someone who has the experience that you have, and you're a little bit more receptive to it. So I reached out to you.
Mm-hmm.
I like reaching out to other nannies through my social media platforms. So that's kind of how I keep, you know, my whole nanny group or my nanny inspiration going.
Definitely, definitely. And I think it's so important because you see the way that you've been able to reach out to me and we've now built up a friendship. The thing is, I noticed that that wasn't there before. So this is why I said I'm going to put myself on a public platform because representation matters. And I really struggle to see someone that looks like me doing what I'm doing that I could go to and say, oh my God, it's so nice to see you out here, you know, showing the people what we do and things like that. So when you reached out, that really resonated with me. And I know you knew that because I told you that. And then I just kept coming back to your messages. Like I read your message like probably about 14 times. And that was very precise because I remember like, okay, Charlotte, you've read it 10 times now. You're going to go back to the same message and read it again. Because I just was like, wow, like this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So when you reached out, it just made me feel really like proud that I could connect with someone like yourself all the way in Chicago. I would never have met you if I didn't put myself out there. Do you know what I mean? So I was just so thankful, man, that you reached out because, yeah, now me and you talk and we're going to have a great friendship. When I come to Chicago, listen, we are going to dance. We're gonna dance, girl. We're gonna go out. We're gonna have fun, and it's just amazing. It's just nice now that I can you know put nannies on this platform because it's about time we get recognized, man. It's about time. You know, we do so much. We are the glue that bonds a family together, but we're often forgotten. You know, you see all these picture perfect families, and a lot of the time there's a nanny behind that image, but the nanny is not seen. And this is why I think even with my nanny family now, when I'm not with them anymore, but I finished with them last week, and whenever they had a family portrait, they were like, "Shada, get in.
Yeah.
You're part of the fact that you get in as well." Like, you know, so it was really, really nice. But that's not the norm. That is not the norm. You got some more questions coming in, I think. The right nanny said, "Hello, hi." Cadmin said, "Being a parent is like your heart walking around the earth." I've heard that a lot actually from a few parents. Hey Jess, hey Vanessa. Cadmi says, love you guys. What you're doing for our future children is priceless, and I'm sure they will all grow into beautiful adults. Thank you. That is so sweet. Hi Ray. Rachie, how are you? The me photo. Hi, I'm gonna see you later at the party. Um, so hi, Nanny Buddy said, love that. So obviously we're coming to a close because Instagram is rude and they like to cut you off after an hour. But I want to just kind of wrap up or end it on a good note. I want you to let me know, because this live is obviously all about you, honoring you and your great work that you do in the nanny community. What do you want to be recognized for? What do you want your lasting legacy to be? And what would you want people and your nanny children to remember you as? Or what do you want them to remember you for?
The childcare provider who's that's a good question. I want to be remembered for someone who just didn't go to work to just make money. I want everyone to know, my kids to know that I did this because I care for you, because in the future I want to see you succeed. Lord, but don't do this to me now. I'm sorry, guys.
We're losing you. Ooh, it's a bit hot.
I'm so
Are you
sorry.
back?
Let me.
That's okay. We can do
I'll
take two.
My internet wants to act crazy now.
That's
But
okay.
I want people just to remember me by just my works and knowing that I didn't just do this to get another paycheck. Granted, I am doing all these things for my future children so they can have generational wealth. But ultimately, the reasons I even go to be a nanny, I'm in childcare, is because I love children. And I also emphasize to people, like, if you don't really like children or care for their growth or want to see them succeed, you're going to get burned out, and you're just going to get to the point where, you know, you're just kind of over it. The love that I have and the passion that I have for our future, our children, I want people to know that that was real, that that wasn't scripted, that that wasn't for video, that that is something that I do because there's a genuine love and care for that.
Amazing. I love that. Are you hearing this? She wants you guys to know she's not doing it for a check. She's doing it for the genuine love and passion. And that's how you want to be recognized. And that is why you are one of my nannies that I'm recognizing for National Nanny Recognition Week. Because I made sure that I spoke to everyone that I'm recognizing, and I wanted to know, people need to know their purpose, and I wanted to make sure that people see that being a nanny, there's a bigger message behind it. People generally believe and feel that this is what they're meant to do. Like for me, I can't see myself doing anything else but working with children. Like the thought of it even makes me go, huh? What?
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense. So I love that you've made that very clear, and I'm sure everyone can agree that your passion definitely shows from the jump, from the moment you came on the live straight away. You could see that you was very passionate about what you do, and that's amazing. Especially to be still feeling that way so many years into your career as well. So Nanny Kibble say so true, Sharzy Poo. Oh, that's her nickname for me. Rachie has a question for you. If you ever come to this, what have you done when you've witnessed abuse from parents towards their kids? Have you ever been in that position before?
I'm thankful enough that I've had a moment where and this one is like kind of a thin line because it was kind of like a cultural thing. I haven't witnessed like abuse, but I have witnessed like a father, like his son did something and he was an older child, and he slapped his child pretty hard. And to kind of, I don't know how to kind of word it, but they were, you know, they were my ethnicity. And in my culture, you know, some people believe in, you know, whooping their child in that sense. However, that for me was kind of extensive. It was too much.
Yeah.
So what I did was I addressed the mom, and I addressed the owner that was there, because I was just doing something for an event, and I addressed them, and I told them like, this, you know, this is too extensive. If someone other, you know, I expressed to them that this is not something that I need to see, that they shouldn't strike their kids like that. However, I want people to also understand that in certain situations, also being that some things are cultural, it might be seen differently. Like if I was a different,
Yeah.
I probably would have reacted way more. But also being someone who's been raised in a household where I was beaten or
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't take it to the point of calling like child services.
Yeah.
I did address the parents at hand, and I let them know that this is something that you cannot do. It's unacceptable. And if I see it again, I'll escalate the matter.
Yeah.
That's the closest that I've seen.
Yeah. Say mine's more being verbal, saying certain things to the child, like demeaning them or talking down about them or making them feel unwanted in my presence. Like that really bugs me. So something like that, I have to speak on it. So yeah, but I don't think I've never seen someone physically harm their child, because yeah, that for me, I will do what I need to do the professional way. But I've been lucky enough never to witness that to that extent. Let's see. But us nannies keep secrets now, because we see some stuff. Just me, you know, sometimes you see that you're like, people could see this right now, especially when you work with the celebrities and the high net worth people, and you see what they're doing, and you're like, oh, if people knew this. Oh. But yeah, non-disclosure. Even if I didn't sign a non-disclosure, I would never speak on it anyway, because I'm very big on respecting confidentiality and privacy. So, But yeah, some of the things you see, boy, you're just like, what, yoy? So Montessori Nanny says, so, so true. Nanny Buddy said, amazing, love this. Um, Ray Chi said, what do you say to verbal abuse? I've always spoke in the moment, and I've said, can we just calm down? And I've made sure I've spoke to the parent separately, and I spoke to the child separately, and I've told the parent, yeah, this is unacceptable. Like, this can't be done. This is the effect it's going to have on your child's development and self-esteem and confidence and so and so. And then I'll speak to the child separately and tell them that, you know, sometimes when people are angry, they say things they don't mean, da 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 da. And I will always make it out. Like me, I'm very big on positive affirmations for children. So after I finish with that child knows that they're loved, and you know, I big them up and I make them feel safe, but also make sure they have a conversation together as well. But I definitely speak to mom or dad, whoever it is, separately, and then we all have a conversation together. Just in terms of communication, because I personally don't shout at my nanny children, and I don't demean them, and I don't talk down to them, but they respect me very highly. So there's a way for the parents to do it as well. If I can do it, the parents definitely can do it, and I will coach the parents through it if I have to. So that's my approach. What about you?
I believe it'll be along the same line. I've never really experienced someone talking down to their kids or saying something negative where I had to jump in. But if there was a situation, maybe they're calling their child names and something derogatory, my first step will be to address the parent, pull them to the side and say, hey, this is not acceptable. This is not how we talk to our children. I wouldn't say it so bluntly, but I would make sure that they understand that this is something that I problem, and I can offer them other ways to handle maybe the child is acting up and they don't know how to address it, and so they're using negative language or calling the child negative names. We can explore and address that, and then of course I will go to the child and make sure the child knows that you're wonderful, you're smart, reaffirming those positive things, because children are so sponges, and they remember the good and bad things that you say to them. So I want to make sure
Trust me.
that you don't have to be whatever your parents are saying. You don't have to take on this title if they're saying something negative, because I personally have experienced some things too where I love my parents, but sometimes they've said some things too out of anger, and so I know how it feels as a child, hearing your parents probably talk down to you or say verbal things to you that kind of make you feel really hurt, that you carry on for years. So definitely let the child know that you're wonderful, making sure the child understands that I'm here for you, I love you, and of course working with the parents so that next time we don't have situations like this and keep repeating this cycle.
I love that. I love that. So Rachel, you're the one that asked that question, and she said, while still maintaining a relationship with the parents. Yeah, you can still maintain a relationship with the parents and be honest and professional. And a lot of the time, the parents actually are not aware of how certain things can affect them. So they kind of respect that you are like the middle person, that they have a childcare professional in the home that can see both parts of the argument or both parts of the disagreement and kind of mediate it. So I've always found whenever I've had a dispute with something like that, it's made us all really closer in a way. I don't know if you feel the same. And if it had gone the other way, where the parents feel like I've overstepped my mark, or they felt like I weren't within my right to say that, then I will have a conversation with them about how they want us moving forward to communicate. Because if I'm going to see something that's going to be detrimental to your children's development or health, I'm going to speak up on it, like no matter what. And if you have to sack me, so be it. But I can't be a childcare professional and see you doing something damaging to a child and not say nothing. Like, it's just not going to run. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. No, it's not going to happen. But yeah, no, I think we got 1 minute left. I see the timer. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to honor you, Linda. Do you have any last words, my lovely?
I'm just, like I said, I'm grateful that you considered me to do this. Like I said, I reached out to you a couple weeks ago, and I just to kind of just talk with you, and from there just to be able to be on here on the live with you is just wonderful. And my advice to other nannies, don't be afraid to reach out to other nannies. We're all in this together. We have the same experiences. I never see another nanny as competition. I see them as a sister, somebody that I can get advice from, learn from. We're a community. Definitely, you know, reach out to each other, reach out to me. Yeah.
Definitely. Guys, if you found this useful, you know what to do. Throw some purple love hearts in the comments. Let me know how you think it went. Linda, how can the people find you? Let them know about your YouTube. Let them know about your Instagram. How can they find you?
I am on Instagram as linda.d.akins. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube as Linda Akins. So if you type in Linda Akins, most likely I will pop in. If you definitely type in Linda Akinbusiyi, because there's not many people with that name, all my social media pops up. But Instagram is linda.d.akins and YouTube is Linda Akins.
Amazing. Look, we've got all the purple love hearts. That means they're loving you. Thank you. Linda, quickly, you just need to do a quick smile so I can get it for the live. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you later, my lovely. Thank you guys for joining. Next up, I have a live tomorrow, and that's gonna be with British Nanny in Oz. So make sure you guys are here for the live. I'm gonna be posting about it. It's already on my page. Thank you so much, Linda. I love you so much, and we will speak very soon.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.